Powderfinger from Neil Young. Love this song. Great, fun story and great ballad, I guess, and really fun rock and roll song. There's a few different versions that Neil recorded. The one from Rust Never Sleeps, the live version, is really good. He plays that in a G, and it's got that really cool run afterward, after the verses. And then there's a version where he plays in E. That one's a little easier to sing. The one in G is way too high for my voice, but I've found that either of those ways of playing requires some bar chords that not everybody loves, and so this is a version that I'm going to go over using the chords in the key of C. And even though there's an F chord, that dirty devil and his F chord hurts some people's fingers, there's a really good sounding F that looks very much like a C that doesn't require barring, and it works well for this song. So we're in standard tuning. Easter bunnies get drunk at Easter, going from high E to low, and the chords are C, and then F is just a shape like this. It's from a C chord, you take those two fingers and just move them down a string. So this is on your D string, the 4th string, ring finger, 3rd fret. Then on the 3rd string, middle finger, 2nd fret, and then that stays there, 1st fret, 2nd string, just from the C. So back and forth here. And kind of like a D chord, you can do 4 strings on down to get a full F sound. If your finger's big enough, you can get both of those notes, and that's a full F. And the only thing to do to add the full chord is these 2 notes. But again, that with the thumb or with barring is really intimidating for some. So this works and sounds really well, just leaving that high E string open. Sounds great in this song. And then a G. Neil almost always plays G like this. If you're not used to playing it that way, it allows for a lot of fun ways to play. This is a good bluegrass G. It's nice and bright, but it misses the B note. That's why it sounds so lively. And then there's an E minor, and you can play E minor at those 2 fingers, these 2 fingers, whatever is going to work better. You're going to go back and forth from F to E minor on those. So whatever is easiest to switch there. So those are the chord shapes. I'm going to go over a verse, chorus. There's really just 4 sections of this song, and they're all the same. So I'm going to go over the first one and then go over the little riff that you can do in different positions and keys. And here we go. For the intro, depending on the version you're listening to, sometimes there isn't an intro. Sometimes you're just strumming on that first chord. And then when you look out, mama, there's a white boat, there's just a pause right there when you open up the song for the look out, mama. Okay, so little intro. Look out, mama, there's a white boat coming up the river with a big red beacon and a flag and a man on a rail. I think you better call John, because it don't look like they're here to deliver the mail, and it's less than a mile away, and I hope they didn't come to stay. It's got numbers on the side and a gun, and it's making big waves. Okay, so that's the song. It just repeats that. A few little frills, if you're gonna get that down. A couple ways to spice up the song is on that C. You kind of add in just an F note there with your pinky. So regular C chord, and then pinky goes up here on the 4th string of the 3rd fret. So C shape. Squeeze your pinky in there. Get it right in front of this birdie finger. Your bird's going to stay there because you're going to go right back off. So look out, mama, there's a white boat coming up the river. So that's a fun little thing. It sounds good. Keep it driving. And then the riff. So in this position, up here on that 3rd string, G string, 4th fret, and then D string, the 4th string, 5th fret. And then we slide down 2 positions. So now we're at the 2nd and 3rd frets. And then that's an open G and then 2nd fret of the D string. And the next 2 notes are really easy. That's just same shape on the 4th string and 5th string this time. So 2nd fret there, the 4th string, then 3rd up here. So hopefully you can see that. And then if you want to play it an octave higher, which is a lot of fun, don't be intimidated by this. It's fun and it's not terribly hard. So we're up here on the B and G strings. So these 2 strings, B, G, so 2nd and 3rd string, 12th fret. Most guitars you have 2 dots there, so it's kind of easy to find. So you do that there, those 2 notes, and then you slide down to the 10th fret. And we have that same shape again. So this is the 2nd string on the 8th fret, and 3rd string on the 9th fret. And then the next shape, you're already right there. You're just moving down. So that's the 3rd string on the 9th fret still, and then 4th string on the 10th fret. And you just go back to 10th fret. So sliding into it. So hopefully that made sense and I remember the right strings and frets and whatnot, but really fun way to play. And if you're playing in standard G, it's that same shape, that run. You slide up. So going from the D. Into the C. Back there. So playing key of G, if you can sing that high or if you can sing that low and maybe go down an octave, just slide up to the 7th fret, 7, 5, and then open. So that's the C position. C position here, C position octave higher, and then we're playing in D. And then if you are wanting, if your voice likes that C, and I'm going to sing it in this way moving forward, when you go to the F, you can do F with your thumb and do some hammer-ons. Hammer that G string. And sometimes I leave that open for like a major sound, sometimes fretted, but anyway, look out, mama, there's a white boat coming up the river. So just a fun little thing you can do. All right, that's about all I know as far as funness for this song. Hopefully you've learned a new way to play it, something that works well for you, and fun little ways to get up on the fretboard and look awesome and cool, but sound cool. So, all right, be good to your wood.